Good morning, everyone. I'm out here cruising around in the big rig. I think I'll pull these traps right out on the extremity of the property, on property 1 here this morning, because I literally haven't seen a sign. Nothing on trail cam, no tracks on the road, nothing. So I think I'm spending, like an hour a day cruising around out here looking for ghosts. I'll probably pull these traps and bring them in closer though, where I can check them easier, but where there is the tracks of one dog there. Well, we've got more than tracks. I've got him on trail camera. He came through the gate right there next to where I'm camping, and you see where he's walked through and didn't seem to pay any attention to the squeaker at all. He could have come through between bursts too, between the squeaks, but you see where he's actually turned around. At one stage there, he's turned around and he's come right over to the scent, and I think I had just dog urine on the gate post, and he's looked at it. You can see his eyes in the trail cam, but he hasn't gone in under the gate. So I've changed the gate around to try and stop the cattle from wrecking it. And just because the gate's in a different place, whether he realised it or whether it's just a natural obstruction that he could lean in and smell it, and he didn't commit and he didn't go through. Now, righto, that was early days. That was my scent would have still been on the ground. So you can explain that. Now, the same dog, he went over to the skull set, and I don't know how he didn't put his foot in that trap. I really don't, because he was right there. His foot must have been within centimetres of that set. I've had cattle come through. This bull has paid it big attention and never put it off. So I think that one was just bad luck. But I'd rather have these traps from out here in closer there. I'd rather load that area up than be racing around here chasing ghosts. So anyway, let's check the rest of them, and if I don't see any, I'll pull them, take them over the other side. We're coming down into the rocky hole set here now. Favourite place over on this side of the property. Always good for a dog. Last chance. There's nothing here this morning. The traps come out. Let's see what we've got on the reconics. We don't have good dog sign. It's all coming out. Okay, well, we pulled the traps and the camera, the squeaker, everything out of here. I ran through all the photos on the reconics, and I think there's 108 videos and 108 photos of cattle in every position you can imagine, from sniffing the camera to walking past it to going back and forth. Anyway, that's all we got. In 6 days there wasn't a dog went past it. Driving along there, and two little calves, two young ones, popped up out of the grass, and one started running parallel with me, and I put the foot down thinking I'll just get past him, and no, he wanted to match me. So the best thing to do in that circumstance is just to pull up, because that little guy's identifying me as mum, and the faster I run, the faster it's going to go. And what you can quite easily do then is shift the calf way out, way away from his mother. So I just pulled up. When I did, it pulled up and waited a little while, and mum comes up there and takes ownership, and all good, we can move on. But I say to people, especially people from the city that don't know the bush, really got to be mindful of your stock. You've got to learn how they react when you go around. You've got to be careful, because if you don't, you can cause one heck of a mess out here. Same as if you let us go in the city. You don't want me in one of the department stores in the big city, do you? Hey? Okay, we're back in the little rig. And the little Miss Mossy has taken ownership of everything again. She hopped on the front seat here with me and said, righto, I'll show you where to go. Possessive, she is a bit too possessive. Righto, we're heading into the first trap set here on the line. No sign though. We've taken 5 dogs out of this area, so we've knocked a bit of a hole in them. This one here has been kicked out. Hard to know why or what. Might have been just a kangaroo. I'll reset, put some more scent out, even though that's good. That's got this big dingo turkle up there. We put some bitch urine in there as well. Yeah, we'll reset and go again. We were just driving along here past where I shot that black and tan bitch the other night, and a big yellow dog with a real light coloured head came out here below the dam in exactly the same place as I saw that black and tan, and went across towards this peaky hill on the other side here. Couldn't get a shot at it, so I've just come back and I've set 2 traps right here at this little brigalow, and yeah, a bit of a fallen branch off this brigalow, so I've set one with a squeaker and then the other one with mossy urine on the other side of the tree. Now, let's see. We've come about another 4 k's, I suppose, past where we saw that dog, approaching up to the little brigalow patch set. I think I've got a dog up here in front of us. Yep, we have. We've got a dog. Now, the drill. Minnesota rancher, you'll know exactly what to do. You could be doing this right here now, I'm sure. Hold steady, hold steady. Settle down. The whole thing's shaking. Sit, dog, sit, sit, sit. Another trap here, so just sit, sit, sit. The trap's been hooked out. Yeah, this could have been scratched out, that one. It's the first one for a while that I'd say has been scratched out. Maybe you've scratched the first one and didn't get the second one. Inside of the big mountain. And that set was just with a little bit of magna gland on a couple of leaves of that pig nut bush. And yeah, just set on the side of the big tree as a marking tree. It's just interesting that other trap is scratched out. Could have been bumped out too, you never know. There could have been something come across it and half uncovered it, like a wallaby or a rabbit or something, to give this dog an indication. But it could be just a cunning little dog too, a little scratcher. But anyway, could have from friends. There could be others here. We shall see. I can drive along this fence line here for about probably 10 kilometres. It's nearly straight as a die. And clear, beautiful clear fence line. But it's got one stump, one old dead stump there. And it just, yeah, reminds me of something that happened to me years ago. I think I was about 26 or 27. and we're in bad drought. Things weren't looking real good. Anyway, I was chasing a deer. This deer got out of our deer pens and onto my dad's airstrip, which was dangerous if anybody was coming in there. And we're actually heading away. The family and I had arranged to head away on a holiday for a week. We hadn't taken a holiday for so long because of the drought. I was stretched right to the end of my tether. You couldn't. I was as tight as a bowstring. So we had to get out. Anyway, I thought before I go, I better go and chase that deer off the airstrip. So I went down there in the quad bike, and this thing, instead of running back towards the paddock, which would have been a sensible thing to do, this thing tried to beat me to the neighbour's fence. And I ripped down along and onto the fence line, and I put the hammer down. I stuck the thumb down hard on that quad bike. I think it was a Kawasaki 500, if I remember right. Anyway, I put the hammer down, and I'm looking at this deer, and it's trying to beat me, it's flanking me. I look back at the road, and here was the stump. Just like that stump back there. At the last second, I kicked off. I just realised what was going to happen. I was going too fast, and I just tucked in, head down to the chest, because I knew I was coming off, and I sort of prepared myself for a roll, to come off that bike fast. The bike hit the stump dead centre. I think it crushed the subframe back in about a foot, and that's where the bike stopped, and I went straight over the handlebars. But I tucked in and I rolled. I hit the ground, rolled, and come straight back onto my feet. Now I know this because there was a mate going along the highway, only about probably 200 metres away, and he looked in, he saw me chasing his deer, and he saw me hit the stump, and he said, "You did a full somersault, landed straight back to your feet," and he thought, "You crazy bugger, you're okay." He looked and said, "Yep, Clark's okay." And he said, as he drove past, and then he looked, and he saw me fall over, and that's when I realised that my foot was pointing back the opposite way. I'd broken my leg in 7 places, broke all the ligaments, tendons and that on one side of the ankle, and shattered. I think I ended up with 17 pins and plates and whatever in that leg. Yeah, so every time I go past that stump over there, it reminds me of that. I think, why don't you just somebody come in here and burn that thing out, or bulldoze it out, or whatever, because I could just imagine coming along there in the dark one night, ripping along in the long grass if it's not mowed, and straight up that stump. Okay, we're heading down into the gully here now where we caught the 2 dogs. When was that, yesterday? Day before yesterday. And I'm sort of thinking that if they had any friends, they're going to come back. That's still good. And this setup here is still good. Right. We've come along here, right around the back from the Brigalow sets, where there's a really light patch of sand here. And I can look at where I've done the drag across the road. And yesterday I was here and I filmed it, no sign at all. Come past today and here's tracks along the sand. So right, I know I've had dogs through here last night. I've got sets up in front of me here, but yeah, there was tracks here right for a start early on. Now there's tracks here again, so it looks like a place that gets regularly walked across. Yeah, so it wasn't you. No. Get a bit hot, are you? Getting a bit hot. I'll let the thugs out here, and they've all gone for a bit of a walk around, had a look around, did their business. And Brandon goes over here and he just about washes the side of this tree off over here. He sniffed it all for a start and he's marked on that heavy. So I'll listen to me, boy. I'll listen to you, Brandon. I reckon I'll put a trap over there. We're back onto property number 3. Checked all the other traps, one dog down, and we're coming back here to where we caught the dog yesterday. First morning dog. We're here, and I think we have another one. I think we have, because the dog is gone. Grab the 22, let's go looking. Down in here. Up in here. We've got something up in here. Reckon, Mossy. It's a dog. Drag the drag a lot further than most usually do. Well, not that far, it's only gone 30 metres, but straight into this big patch of lantana. Hey, why didn't you go and get him? Why didn't you go fitch it onto him? Iron-foot catch and only with a couple of toes. That's how good the Jake soft jaw are. No, Brandon, that's enough, Brandon. Big male dog as well. Right, it's number 7. He's a big tough dog, that fella. He's not real young. Righto, that's 2 down with the 1 trap. Still using the same piece of foam underneath the pan. Hasn't been washed, cleaned, touched, nothing. Just straight back in the ground. And that's 2 dogs in 2 nights, the same spot. I might throw another trap in here as well, just in case there's more than one more in this pack. There might only been 2, but you never know, there could be 3 or 4.